And like I say over on Instagram, if you want to leave me a comment about anything that you saw in this section, please do it respectfully because I will use my block finger. This is the video I honestly didn't really want to make. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. This morning we're gonna talk about the animals on the homestead, y'all. We're gonna talk about the animals on the homestead. I know it feels like I have been putting it off. In honest truth, I was putting it off because I had another chicken that I was not sure was gonna make it. And I was like, I don't wanna make another video and have to say that I lost a chicken. Not that it may not happen ever again on my channel, but I don't want it to be so close. Anywho, so I want to show you the new setup we have out here. It's not like a big thing. It's not a big change. It's not super aesthetically pleasing, but I have made some changes. If you are new here, about a week ago, I lost a chicken. She was an Americana. So if you aren't new here, she was the white chicken. She was wild, she was crazy. She laid beautiful eggs though. And I am going to miss her here. But yeah, she passed away. So let me tell you really quick what made me notice that something was wrong with her. And I do have chicken books that I need to pull out. And that's, I think, what I need to start referring to, right? So what I noticed from her tail feather was down. When you look up the tail feather being down, the first thing it says is egg bound, right? And so when the chicken is egg bound, they tell you to give them an Epsom salt bath, like let them stay in the dark, that kind of thing. And I did that and she still passed away. But there are other things. Coccidiosis, I believe, is something that could have been an issue with her. And then when I saw the other chicken, looking bad, I was like, oh my goodness, it could have been coccidiosis. I, at the time, did not know where a vet was that would treat a chicken. I have since found a vet that will treat a chicken, and so if I need to take my chickens to the vet, I will. And I know that maybe sounds a little weird, right? But my chickens are my pets. We use them for eggs, we don't use them for meat, so essentially they are my pets. And so the way that I look at it is if my dog, Puppy, if she got sick, I would take her to the vet. It's the same thing with my chickens. They are not here for a defined amount of time. For me, they're gonna be here until they pass away. Even if they stop laying, they're gonna be here because they're my pets. So I did find a vet that will treat them, but I am seeing great improvement. I have everybody laying. The one that I thought was sick or maybe is, a little bit off, she has not started laying again, but I'm keeping my eye on her. She had also started having her tail down and she was very, I don't want to say lethargic, but she was just kind of sitting, her eyes were closed, and I was like, oh my goodness, she is going to, go too. Thankfully, she hasn't. She has become active again. She is eating and she is drinking, but she has not laid yet. And that is my majestic Moran. So she's a Moran. She lays a really dark brown egg. She's the only one that lays that egg, which is how I know that she's not laying yet. We're also going to talk about the quail, y'all, but we're going to start with the chicken. I know people like to see the quails, but because they see chickens all the time and stuff like that. But we're gonna start with the chicken. So with her, so what have I done differently really quick? And then I'm gonna show you my setup. What have I done differently? I have put sand inside my chicken's coop. So in the coop and in the run, there is sand now. Now the sand that I put in there was not 100% dry. I've also started putting a little bit of diatomaceous earth into their coop, a little bit. Not a lot. And when I do it, I leave the coop door open for that day. Diatomaceous earth, as I understand it, y'all, something over here. It's probably a bird, but we moving anyway, because if it's not a bird, I don't want to be that close to it. All right, so, because what I understand is the dust from diatomaceous earth is not great for them to breathe in. Now, I'm also not putting a lot. Like, I'm literally just kind of sprinkling it. And diatomaceous earth is good for, like, the pest or mites and lice in their coop area, right? Now, what I will say, I think what I understand from my research is that it's not great for bees, right? I just started doing that. So, because I feel like somebody is going to connect me saying I haven't seen bees to the diatomaceous earth. I stopped seeing bees before I started using the diatomaceous earth. And now that it's warming back up, I am seeing bees again. So I want to go ahead and clear that up. So I'm only using a little bit of that inside of their coop. And that is, it keeps it dry, helps to keep it dry. It also helps with mites and lice, which I have checked them for mites and lice and I have not seen them. Does not mean that they don't have them, means they don't have an infestation. I also have really started watching Chickenlandia and I used to watch her all the time. I've always been subscribed, but I was more like focusing on garden content, but I've been watching her. There's another channel, I can't remember the name, but she's also not posting that much anymore. So with that being said, that's probably why I can't remember the name, because I haven't been watching her a lot, but I did watch some of her videos. If I can find the channel again, I will link that and I'll, let you know. So those are the things that I'm doing different. Oh, I also ordered a product. We'll put it on the screen. It was expensive. It was very expensive for the size bottle, in my opinion, but every channel that I watched, everything said that it was a really good product for lice and mites. And while I do not see them on my chickens, I still want to treat them. So preventatively treat them for it, right? The other thing that's going on in my flock right now is I have chickens that I believe have vent gleat. However, mites and lice can cause the same situation. And I have done the apple cider vinegar bath with a little bit of mild soap. So I've done that. I've also put some cream on them. So I've done that. Their heinies look better and some of their feathers are growing back. So I'm excited to see that. So with that being said, all of this started happening after the possum. So I don't know if the possum brought something in with it. I don't know how long it was going in and out. Stress can cause these types of things. Chickens are easy. I have had it easy for 4 years now. The most I've dealt with is vent gleat. I've also had 2 chickens die. The first one was, I do believe, my fault. I think that she had like pasty butt, vent gleat type situation going on. I didn't act fast enough. The second one, I just think she was sick. Everything that I read about her, her symptoms, she was sick. And at the time, I did not know where a vet was, okay? So, and then just recently, I had the chicken pass away. But for the most part, for the 4 years I've been raising chickens, I have not had any issues. So I don't want to scare anybody off from getting chickens. I think preventative care is a great thing. The other thing that I'm doing is making sure that I give them cayenne pepper, making sure I give them herbs. So oregano and thyme right now. I have also cut back on their treats. So at the moment, I'm not giving them any black soldier fly larvae, any of those type of treats. I took the feeder block out because what was happening is there were berries falling from my tree. I think it's a mulberry bush. And instead of them eating their food, they were eating the berries. So I've basically controlled their environment. And when I feel like they are, where I want them to be, where they were before all of this happened, I am going to control their food. The other thing I am doing is I am giving their eggs back to them. I'm scrambling them. I'm not giving them raw egg because I don't want them to start eating eggs. I did have one that ate an egg and then she never ate another egg. I don't know what happened there. But so I'm scrambling them, shell and all, and giving it back to them like every other day. Because right now, I'm not eating their eggs. I don't think that I can't. When I was treating them with the cream, that's when I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to be eating those eggs because I've never done it before. I don't know how safe it is. Anyway, so those are the things that we are doing. But let me show you now what I have done to control their environment. So no wild birds, no berries, hopefully no possums getting in. This is what I've done to control the environment. Also to keep the coop drier, keep the coop cleaner, like daily able to clean the coop out. This is what I've done. And I have seen where people say, sand is not the best. It's what I'm going to try right now. If you don't want to use sand, totally understandable, but it's what I'm going to use right now. So if you remember, or if you're new here, I had a shade shed here. So I had the shed taken down. So the shed was, I think, like 10 feet. I'm not really sure, but it was a pretty big shed. So I had the shed taken down. That's where the possum was living, under the shed. Had that taken down, and then I extended the run. The run is just me. I was out here like just trying to make it work. So it's basically a bunch of 2x4s. I think these maybe are like 4x6s. There are T-posts that's holding all of this stuff up because I don't want anything to be permanent, no cement and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, this is the door. Very much not asymmetrical at all, but it works. So this is what I have done so far. I still need to put all of the screws in here. I was just trying to make sure everything was working right before I made it like kind of permanent or have to do more work. But yeah, I have to put the screws back in here. Just have like a basic knob here. Right here, they did a little bit of digging, or it was just uneven anyway. So I have this board down here that came out of the fence, and that's, I'm gonna put some sand here to build the ground back up. Just haven't gotten around to it. The other thing is you can see that there's a gap in the door, so birds could get in there. But what I did is there's bird netting on here anyway. So I just let it hang and then I go around it. No big deal. The other thing I've done is you can see right here is I put bird netting all the way across the top so that the birds cannot get into their coop. And it is secured just by T-posts. So this is how I'm keeping it closed so birds can't slide through it. So, you know, they probably could. I probably could put a few more, did I say T-posts? Zip ties, y'all. Zip ties. So I need to probably put a little more zip ties across here. I'm not completely done. I just was trying to figure out how I could quickly like control their environment. So this is what I did. I do want to eventually put something solid across the top because that will keep their run dry. That's another thing that I'm fighting with, is keeping their run dry. So when it rains, like it just rained for like 6 days, I think. It was completely muddy over here. And so then I had to go and get wood chips. I already had some, the pine shavings, just to make sure that they weren't like standing in mud. So this is Betty here. This is Peace. And like Peace is missing her feathers in the back, and her butt had vent gleat as well. So that's one of the things I'm paying attention to. So that is Peace. Beautiful bird. Like when she is feathered the way that she should be, she's a beautiful bird. She is a Brahma. Like I said, this is Betty. She's a black sex link. She is also having some vent gleat issues. And so this is Dallas. She's a sapphire olive egger. She is not seeming to have any issues. So I'm watching them all. She seems to be fine. Now, what I will say is once she started laying again, like once I got them on to, you know, once I controlled their environment, her eggs were oddly shaped. But the last egg that I got from her was no longer oddly shaped. So whatever was going on in here, I think that I am getting it controlled. It's just taking a little bit of time. So she's fine. Her eggs are now normal shape. And then here we have Bertha. No, that's not Bertha. That's New York. The way I could tell the difference is between their combs and between her feet. And so see, this is the one that I thought was not feeling well. And if you notice, her comb is also a little bit light, in my opinion. So watching her for sure, but she looks fine. She's much more active. And I know people say that they do hide if they're sick, but I'm watching her too, like very closely, like a hawk. But that is New York. In the coop, you have Betty. So I'm guessing she maybe is about to lay eggs. But you can also see I have sand in here now. You can also see poop, but I cleaned this out last night. I got a cat litter scooper, and so every day I just come through here and scoop all of this out of here so that it can stay clean. You can also see, well, you might not be able to see it, but I can see a fly on the poop. I want to keep flies out of here just because that's a way for us to get disease and things in the coop. So that's what I'm doing. Now the bottom of the run also has sand in it, but because they scratch, it's mixing in with the bottom. So I still add more sand every now and then. Also, it's a little bit wet in here because we had so much rain. So I really need to get a top on this area. Even if it's not across the entire area, I would like it to be like maybe right here. Just to keep it dry in some spot. Now my whole plan was if I put the sand into the coop area and into the run of the coop, that's where they would be able to dust bathe, right? But even when it rains, it gets wet because my land is not level. So what my plan is to make them a dust bathing spot, and no matter where I put it, I'm going to cover it so that it is always dry and they can always dust bathe. When it is dry and we don't have a lot of rain, the area under where the shed was is very dry, very dusty, very sandy. And I imagine that's because when they put the shed down, they had to level and things. So this area is dry when it's not wet, like when we haven't had a lot of rain. So this will be another space for them to naturally dust bathe, but I'm going to create a dust bathing spot for them as well. So if you're new here, you're gonna notice that I have this tarp up. When we removed the shed, there was no fencing behind it. My stepfather is supposed to come and put that up for me, but right now we just have this tarp until I can get that done. And once he does that, I could probably use this tarp to put over top of their run, but we'll see. We have 2 3-gallon waterers in here. So there's one right there and then there's one right here. So what I'm doing right now is also adding apple cider vinegar to their water. I'm doing a deep clean on it once a week, and then in the mornings, which I've already done this morning, I come out and make sure that I tip it to get any of the dirt and stuff out. I need to do that with my hand really, but this is not dirt, it's their bedding, but that's what I do, and I do it for both because in the summer you can get algae buildup. If it's in the sun, for sure you can get algae buildup. Just in general, it's a good idea to keep their waterers clean because that's where disease and issues can come from as well. So that is the chickens right now. Everything is not perfect over here. Everything is not perfect over here. And like I say over on Instagram, if you want to leave me a comment about anything that you saw in this section, please do it respectfully because I will use my block finger. I'm just trying to be honest. And right now, my flock is going through a situation that I am trying to control. And so now on to the quail. I recently hatched quail. We about to go in the house and I'm going to tell you the story about what happened there. The animals, I have been giving myself an issue, I'm going to say, with the animals. The animals ain't doing nothing. It's just stuff that's kind of happening. So I hatched out some quail. We have 9 quail left now. Remember, I hatched 24. So I live in a small house, right? I use a lot of extension cords and power strips. And so downstairs, there's a power strip that I plug it in and it kind of powers everything downstairs. If you're not new here, you'll remember that I was growing microgreens for the quail. The light does not need to be on 100% of the time, 24 hours for microgreens. I normally remember to just unplug the lights. I did not remember to unplug the lights and I turned the entire power strip off. I went downstairs to check on them one night. They were all bundled up and I was like, why are they bundled up like that? And I even opened the brooder, all kinds of stuff. It never dawned on me that I had turned the entire power strip off, which means they did not have heat. The next morning I came out and I think 6 or 7 were dead. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, what happened? And that's when it dawned on me that I turned the entire power strip off. So that happened. Want to be honest about that. Quail do need heat. They need heat 3 to 4 weeks until they are fully feathered. And my quail will be 3 weeks tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. They'll be 3 weeks. And so I did lose a good amount of quail. And then of course, some just passed away naturally because quail don't have a great survival rate. But at any rate, we have 9 left now. So let's go inside and look at them, y'all. Oh, and another thing that I did, when I was cleaning up, I got rid of my dog crate. So I did get the things to quarantine the chickens because I had to. So I got the things to quarantine my chickens as well. So I have a dog crate now, and then I got a smaller tote to put them in if I need to give them a apple cider vinegar bath. So did that too. So let's look at the babies. I just cleaned this last night. I'm gonna show y'all now, but I'm letting you know I just cleaned this again last night. They're very messy creatures. So if you want to get them, just know they're very messy creatures. So these are the quail babies now. People want to see them. They're growing, they're getting their feathers now. I have lifted the heating plate so that they can fit under there and it's not too tight. They also have a normal feeder now. Granted, I probably gave them too much food last night, and that's why we got food kind of everywhere, but I'll probably be cleaning this again today. They also have their regular waterer. They're probably gonna jump. But I also still have the rocks in it. I also need to come down here today and clean the rocks, clean the water portion of it. But it's early in the morning when we're doing this, so I just woke up not too long ago, decided to get this video done. And so they are in a, what do you call it? They're in a brooder from Nutri. I really like this brooder because I can open it from the top. I can also slide these doors open, which I rarely do unless I'm cleaning because they will bolt out of there. They move very fast. I'm surprised they didn't jump when I originally opened this. Anyway, those are the baby quail. We have 9 left now. I'm probably going to share these with someone else just because there's only 9 and my whole plan with this group was to replace a covey outside and then share, or covey, whatever it's called, y'all. I was going to share and then I was going to share. But at this point, I'm probably just going to share these with someone else and then I will hatch again. I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I have been thinking like, should I be doing this? But it's not a part of learning. What happened with those quail is not a part of learning. It was me being absent-minded. So that's, I just have to remember not to be absent-minded. It's really that simple. It has never happened to me before, but I'm going to be honest over here. I'm not going to tell y'all that, everything is going great or just stop sharing about what is happening because it's happening. So this is the video I honestly didn't really want to make, but I keep telling myself, the whole point of my channel is to share my garden. I love gardening, find people who love gardening, but it's also to share my experience with other people who may want to get into this. And so with that being said, I'm sharing. This happened with my quail. By the way, y'all, just to show you this real quick, we got mushroom substrate under there that I need to get into the tent, but I want to clean the tent before I do it. But we have some chestnuts growing. So once I get the flesh off of this chestnut, I will take this out, clean out the whole entire green house, and then I will put the rest of them in there. Now, here's the thing. I purchased these from one of the farms that I was telling y'all about. Checking my email. I purchased these from one of the farms that I was telling y'all about. And the husband said, you could put these in the refrigerator for like a month. He said maybe 2, and then you don't have to come down here as much. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. Because what I did was 4 oyster mushroom, and then I think I also got a lion's mane. I am scaling back so that I can learn the specific mushroom. And I want to learn lion's mane really well. And I feel like I have oyster down. Oyster is very easy. And chestnuts are very easy too. They just take a long time to start pinning. So I didn't get another chestnut because I already had one. But I had that one from the time that I got the others that have fruited twice now. 2 or 3 times, honestly. They've already fruited and it just started to fruit. So I'm learning that, y'all. I'm learning it. It's the puppy. Y'all said y'all want to start seeing puppy a little bit more. By the way, the back porch, I have cleaned it, right? But I need to get all of the stuff off of the ground that's probably been here for I don't know how long. And then we have a whole bunch of trash. So it's pretty much clean. This stuff, I just need to put it where it belongs, but it doesn't look anything like it looked a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, let's go talk about the quail outside. So my quail outside are in coops over here. And if you remember, I said I wanted to move them back into the chicken area, but I don't want to mess with the environment at all right now in the chicken area. I just want to get the chickens stable again. So this is where my quail are, and I don't really open their coop like I say all the time in videos. I just go as close as I can. Like, why are they stepping all over her? I have no idea. I guess it's a her. Anyway, so in this covey, the ratios are off. So I think that I have 2 males in here. Actually, no. At this point, the ratios are fine, but now I don't have enough quail to provide the amount of eggs that I need. So with that being said, or that I want, because we have chickens for eggs, but for my quail, just so everybody knows, if you're new here, I use them for meat and I use them for eggs. And so I hatch my own eggs to make new cubbies. But so this one here is it's in ratio, but I don't have enough now to give me the eggs that I need. I'm probably getting 2 eggs out of here a day now, and probably 3 eggs out of the other one. So 5 eggs a day. But you keep the eggs, I think, for like 7 days. Not I think, I keep my eggs for 7 days, and that's how I hatch. And sometimes I'll keep them longer and just put them in there to see if they hatch. You know, it is what it is. I'm not very scientific with my hatching. Anywho, so that's why I said I'm probably gonna share the ones I have and then just hatch again so that I can have enough for my household, meat-wise, and then so I can have enough to replace this covey. I'm gonna stop doing that, but y'all, somebody always puts the spelling in there, which it does not help me because I don't, the spelling doesn't help me. I've seen the spelling, and that's why I say Kobe. Anyway, there's not much going on out here. The one thing I need to do is get them on sand. That's been something I guess I've been procrastinating on because I really do want them in the chicken area. And I don't want to put sand over here if I'm going to move them and then have to put sand back again. Right now they're on wood chips and they're on straw. And it is time for me to clean it. It should have been cleaned Friday, but I'm going to do that later on today. But then we have another covey over here and right here. So what I was about to say is, I hope you can see them. I don't know if you can or not. The reason why I don't open it is because they scare easily. Are you alive? Oh goodness. We lost one over here too. Oh my goodness. It was alive last night. All right, well, that could have been one of my older ones though. I don't have a way to tell their age. I may try to find like things to put on their feet so I could tell the age, because they also don't have very long lifespans either. So we just lost one in here too. Yeah, it's been a hard, I don't know. Just being transparent with y'all. So I gotta get him or her out there. I know there was 2 pretty old females in here, so I had to get them out. Anyway, yeah, that's unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Oh my God. So what was I saying? Give me a minute. Oh, the reason why I am replacing the covey is, one, it's not enough quail. The other thing is they were being overbred. There were too many males in there and they were overbreeding the females. And you can tell that because they'll start to lose hair on the back of their head, even though sometimes there is a female that a male just prefers, so he may overbreed her. The feathers will grow back as long as you're not seeing blood or like they're fighting, you're good. But yeah, so that's what we're doing here. I will tell you, my quail journey has not been super easy. It's been long. I'm still learning it. It has not been super easy, but yeah, so listen, I hope you enjoyed this video, y'all. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all. If you have any questions about anything that I said in this video, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, please be respectful with whatever comment that you leave. Thank you, and I will see y'all in the next video.